Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as always, back on F1 2019, and we are finally back with my world record attempt series. And I haven't done this in a while, I had a little break recently, but very pleased to be doing this again. And I've actually missed doing this. It's probably the favourite series I've actually done so far on F1 2019. And we are back when we are on PC. If you haven't noticed by the toggles at the bottom, instead of X's and triangles, we've got numbers because it's a keyboard and it's on PC, as I said. And you can see the top time, the legit top time, is a 1 minute 20.7. So that is what we're aiming for today. And I've really been enjoying my time actually on PC so far. And as always, starting out with the default setup, got a little bit wide here and business as usual. Getting an invalidation before even starting the lap, not even on the lap itself, before the lap itself. So I think that might be a first doing that. But as always, we're on a default setup and I don't stop until I just feel I've done a pretty decent time near my max potential. You can see the understeer is just sickening through there. It's just turned. It just doesn't want to do anything whatsoever. And yeah. As always, when I do a time trial, and this is not for the purpose of this video, but just in my whole time playing Formula 1 games, competitively since 2010, really, to be honest, I've always really had this kind of approach where I just try and max out by learning a track, not even putting on a setup or anything whatsoever. And then once I feel I've maxed out on that, that's when I start building the setup around myself and not really taking the top person's time. Well, you can take the current number one time, but I usually do make it quite a bit different because I have my own driving style. And as I mentioned in my previous videos, or if you're new to watching this series, I've said it countless times that you really need to feel a setup that works for you, and don't take it as a guarantee that the top time setup is just automatically going to make you a second faster or anything like that, because sometimes it actually makes me go a lot slower than the stuff I use. You've got to find what works for you is what I'm trying to say here. And you'll be able to see as well, I'm keep on continuing. You'll probably be seeing a lot of laps in a row, and I cannot stress that enough. If I'm almost choking, I cannot stress that enough, that you need to just really start building that momentum, because if you just keep on restarting, especially halfway through a lap or something, you're just not going to have that muscle memory for the last part of the track or a certain sector. You really need to just keep on going. Just get that frustration out of you and just persevere with it and just keep on going and just try and get that momentum down, because that is just so crucial. And you can already see, after my first lap, you can see we're just so much more aggressive already. A little bit hesitant here. We've already invalidated this lap, but as I mentioned, we're going to just keep on continuing, even if you do invalidations, go out wide or anything, because then the next lap, you know exactly where to improve, and you just have that feeling where you just know you need to just push a little bit extra here, or not be as aggressive going into this corner. And you can see already, look how much up we are on the first lap, and that is purely just for learning how it felt on the previous lap. That is all that is. And coming across the line, what time is this going to be? It is an invalidated, whoa, I thought it was invalidated, but it was a 122.4, but I still feel I can go quite a bit faster than that, and we are just going to continue, because I still feel that's maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10 for a stock setup. So I just want to just continue, and you can see a much better lap already so far here. And typically with a setup, I've always found about 1.5 seconds to around 2 seconds, depending on the track really. So to be to 22.4 is not really that bad when it's a 1 minute 20.7 we're aiming for, because the time in the 19s by the Brawn car, I don't think that is legit. You'll be able to see from the ghosts later on in this video. I'm pretty sure that's a glitch or something. So a 120.7, and we have quite a few quick guys, which you'll be able to see the leaderboard shortly as we invalidate that. But once again, we are we going to continue? No, well, I think we did continue anyway, but yes. We've got quite a few quick guys doing this as well, so I was quite surprised that it was only that time. But some tracks, this car is actually faster than the modern cars, but other tracks where it's particularly twisty, it's not really that close to it here. But this lap here so far is going very well. Have that 122.4 And you can see we're almost 2 tenths, well I think we are about 2 tenths up on this time already. Going through here, the guy ahead of me has got a setup on, and I think the top time with no setup is a 1:22.0, and you can see so far we're going very nicely on this green delta. Just want to kiss this curb and run on this curb. For that right-hander, you do not want to be clobbering the inside of that. You really want to just be brushing the wheel against it on the apex. That will give you the best exit possible. Going through here, you want to go slow in, fast out, you can see all the way to the left and then all the way to the right, especially with the understeer with this stock setup. Going into here, probably one of my favourite corners on the track actually. Taking quite a bit of grass, or not curb, but grass on the inside. 4th gear, just through that chronic understeer, braking in a straight line. 2nd gear, just to get that extra rotation that I always keep on talking about. Short shifting into 4th gear to minimise the wheel spin. Getting a very nice launch of this corner. Let's see what time this is going to be. This is going to be a 1:21.979, and with a stock setup, that was pretty good. I don't think I really could have gone too much faster. Maybe on a perfect day 2 tenths or something like that, but yeah, I was actually pretty happy about it. So that is confirmed reaching my potential on the stock setup, and that was enough for just outside the top 50 in the world. And normally if you get within the top 60, top 70 for the stock setup, that's not a bad effort. And you can see there's people like SHZ, Rivo, he's very quick, who's near the top of the leaderboard. I think he only did a 21 or something, so we're in the same second of guys who are using a setup. That was pretty good here, but you can see that that was when I loaded the top time setup. So I've just put on the fastest no assist setup, and this is my fast lap with this completely. And as I said before, typically I will change this, but I always, on these videos, very least, I put on the top setup and just see how it feels and see how much faster I go. And you can see already going through turn 1, you can see the oversteer is already kicking in, but we are already a 10th up going through here. You can brake a lot later going into here now, but you can see the back end. This car is just so sensitive, especially in slow speed corners. It's a car that's designed to always be going at high speed. The more speed you got, the more grip you're really going to have in this car here, but the back end is always wanting to wash away. But despite it not being a particularly clean lap so far, we're still quite a bit up on the delta, going a little bit too much to the curb here. The car always wanted to step out all the time here, but just with that lower front wing, we're just going to have an automatic gain in the straightness speed through here with the 11 bats. You can see just how much more grip we've already got through here, and we're over 7 tenths up, 8 tenths up now. And no, the world record is a 20.7, and you can see by this lap, this is not a decent lap really by any stretch at all. Actually, a little bit of understeer going through here. Actually underestimated what we could do. 2nd gear is probably a little bit too low for this corner, carrying a lot more speed in this last corner. Over a 2nd up now, and we haven't invalidated it, but so come across the line, what is this going to be? It's a 20.9 on the first lap. That's only 2 tenths away from the world record, and that has been quite a few of the guys. That's already in 4th position on the leaderboard, so I think you could see there was just so much more time in this lap as well, and a little bit of oversteer through here. But as we did at the beginning of this video, each lap, this is like restarting the game again. You have to learn how this car feels with this lap, and you can already see how much we are up with this. Want to thread the car, threading it through a needle through here, staying nice and tight to the right hand side. And this time, let's see if I can brush it instead of clobber this curb. This time I clobber the curb, so that is not optimal. Completely on the throttle, the car wants to snap out there, but you can see again, over a 10th up on a 120.9. Let's see what I can do for this fast left chicane. A pretty decent left-hander through here. Almost losing the car. Surprised that wasn't a corner cut through there. But we are still green on this delta. Plenty of time to make up into this last sector. Not hitting the grass this time. And I had a little bit of understeer last time. Turning in early. Look at the time we are gaining hand over fist going through here. Staying in 3rd gear. But this car, as I said, is so sensitive. If you just carry too much speed, you'll either spin out or just the car will just bog down. And what time is this? This is already a 120.7. So that is pretty much almost matching the world record already. And again, I think you can agree there is a lot of time on the table here. So that was enough for P4 on the leaderboard. So now I'm going to actually adopt the setup a baseline that I feel will work for me much more. I like to use a very, very low transmission. And the reason why I do that is because I just really like the feeling of just making it very easy to be on the traction. And I like to use a default geometry. I find it gives me a very, very nice balance. I do that in the modern cars as well. And going through here, putting it probably up on the front anti-roll bar. And I want to get more of my rotation through the suspension rather than the roll bar. And let's see what we're going to do through here. I don't think we're going to change the tyre pressures too much. It's on 11. So basically, just I like a car that, I know it's easy to say, but a car that is just responsive, but the rear end is still stable as well. I don't like running 111 anti-roll bar because that would just make the rear end very, very loose. I like to do more of my rotation through the suspension instead. But going through here, this is my first lap again straight away. Invalidated it, but as I said, just going to continue because, you know, if I restarted now, I'm not going to have the feeling for the rest of the lap of how this setup is really going to feel. So I decide just to do a lap, even if it's invalidated, just have a good feeling to see, you know, where it's different, how I have to adapt my driving style, everything like that. And you can see we're about a 10th down going through sector 1, pretty messy one, but getting a decent exit of here. And you can see, look at that much time we're gaining. And just raising that front anti-roll bar and the transmission as well, I just feel I can just be so much more aggressive on the traction especially. And I feel especially in these kind of cars where it's pretty hard on traction towards the top of the rev range in this car, I feel you really, really do need that. And you can see already that probably would have been an invalidation on the right hander there, but you can see already we're just gaining so much time. And you can see over a 10th when we were about a 10th down before. Going through here again, just really, really aggressive on the power. Let's see what we can do this time. The rear end is going to be a little bit more stable than it was before. Go short shift into 4th gear, and again a very good launch. And you can see we're almost 2 tenths up going across the line. That would have easily been a world record. So that gives me pretty good confidence that already straight away I'm just going to feel so much more comfortable through here. Losing a little bit of time because sometimes a car that's a little bit pointed through those kind of corners would be really good, but it's through here. This is where it's going to make the big difference. And you can see just the time we're just gaining on this Delta, being much more aggressive on the throttle this time. And instead of being a 10th down, we're almost matching the time for this first sector, which is very, very good. Normally through this corner, this is where I'm going to be gaining the time just on the pure traction again, and not gaining as much time as I hope, but surely through this corner this time, braking quite late, just clipping the inside of this. Not a super smooth exit, but still, there's still time to be gained in this last sector. Looking at the black box, just about half a car length after that, that's where you want to be turning in, and we get an invalidation. But you can see the Delta, we're definitely gaining some time when it exits. That is definitely a weak spot that I did on my previous lap, and I just decided to just be very, very aggressive through the last part of this, just to see how much time I can really, really gain here. Going into here, staying in 3rd gear, trying to avoid too much, because if you're doing this car, as I said, it will just completely just bog you down. And once again, that would have been, no, almost a very, very slight improvement on my time. So pretty more confident, well, a lot more confidence to take through that. And once again, I can take a shot every time I say again, we are just going to continue just to build that rhythm, build that momentum, getting a slightly better corner this time. Let's see if I could be more aggressive on the throttle through here. So pretty even to what I did on the last lap, but I didn't get a particularly good exit off the exit of sector 1. And this time, just carrying more speed this time, much, much more speed. And here we can see we're green in this Delta now, and try not to be as cautious through here. That is more like it. You just want to brush the car in a much smoother and cleaner exit off here. And you can see the tiny differences you do in this car, just the minor details, will just make a world of difference going early on this left-hander, not invalidating the right-hander. And you can see, look at the time we are gaining on this Delta. We are gaining a ton of time, just for a couple centimeters of difference compared to the previous lap. Let's see what we can go through here just before the black box. That's where you want to be turning in. Stay completely committed in 5th gear. This corner here, stay in a high gear, but going just to, you can see, carrying to that too much speed will really, really bog the car down. But we are still up on our time, and let's see what time this is going to be. This is going to be a 120.4, so that is probably about 3 tenths clear already. We've already done the world record. I just feel I can just do more than this time here. So now staying on board once again. That is the number 1 ghost in the Brawn car, but you'll be able to quickly see. I'm pretty sure that it's good. As you can see, we're quite close here, and yeah, I don't think that is really legit time at all by any means or stretch. So I was confident I could do a faster time than this. So I did go and tweak my setup just ever so slightly, but now, been a while since I said this, but now this is a very, very nice lap as Jarno Opmeer appears online here. So starting the lap here, let's talk through this. Going on the second brake marker board, hitting the inside of the curb, using all the curb on the exit, and that was a very, very good exit. No DRS in this car, only in the modern cars. Looking at the 100 meter board, that's where you want to be braking again, doing quite a late apex. Hold it in 3rd gear just to minimize just the rear end from washing away from you. 3rd gear again through here, completely flat out through this right hander, avoiding the curb on the inside. Want to be braking completely in a straight line just before the last orange board. That's where you want to be turning in and getting a very nice exit. In this car, you really want to be accelerating purely in a straight line, not as you're turning. Brushing this inside curb, using this curb on the exit, and not letting the car get away from me on this occasion. Now, going through this left hand, you want to go slow in, fast out. After that last wall, taking a lot of curb on the inside and the outside. You can see the time we've gained, just carrying that pure speed going through that corner. This one here, you want to be braking just between those balls. Actually, a little bit of a lockup, so that was not optimal going through there. Just turning in as you hit the black box. Want to be braking in a straight line for this. As you hit the black box, that's your turning in point once again. Try and carry that speed. And that is the best I've done that corner. I just carried all my speed through there. And you can see how much time that has gained me. That has gained me a ton of time. Crossing a line, that is a 1:20.358. And you know, I did try and improve that. As you can see, I was up multiple times here, but I either corner cutted or just pushed the limits too much. Although that was pretty decent, I did lock up towards the end of the final sector, and I really do feel on a perfect day, maybe even a 19 if I got that absolutely perfect. But you know, I think that time was pretty respectable. About 4 tenths clear of the current number 1, and quite a way clear of some other guys who are very, very quick, I know, on the PC here. And yeah, this is my first experience using the PC. I really hope you enjoyed doing this one. Let me know what tracks you want me to do next. I will be doing modern cars. That is something I will be doing, but I would like to be doing all the classic ones first. Then I think I will tackle the PC modern cars, because a lot of esports guys have sweated a lot of tracks for that. So that will make it particularly difficult. Although I am in P3, I really do believe that probably is the legit P1. The guy ahead of me in the Brawn, even if that was legit, he was using all assists anyway. But this is the setup I was using. If I could read that right, that was 4 8 wings or 3 8 wings. The low transmission, as I was talking about before, using the default geometry gives you a really good balance. Quite a high anti-roll bar, but quite a high rear suspension as well, just to get that rotation purely for suspension. That's definitely how I prefer it. Otherwise, I feel the car is just very, very loose in the rear if I don't do that. Reasonably low stopping power. I like to carry the momentum through this track. Always high on the front tyre pressure, just to get a little bit more rotation. Of course, you have to rock that 11 ballast or weight distribution, because if you don't, you are throwing away free time. That is it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.